It's Coffee Stories from Driftaway Coffee. Dave and Ian here previewing our whole bean and ground offerings for the second half of September and the first half of October.
This month, we are roasting a Kenyan coffee from the Nyeri region. This is the top scoring Kenyan coffee that we cupped this year, and we saved it for last to kind of go out with a bang for the last days of summer. This coffee offers a complex and intense acidity as well as sweet, fruit-like flavors and aromas.
Kenya is located on the eastern coast of Africa. The Nyeri region lies in the center of the country near the town of Tetu in Nyeri County.
My name is Aleko Shagonis. I am the co-founder and president of Red Fox Coffee Merchants with headquarters in Berkeley, California, Oaxaca, Mexico, and Lima, Peru.
Could you tell us a bit about Kiandu Factory and what makes a factory in Kenya in general? Like what makes it different from a mill and how is it the same as a mill?
Sure. I guess starting with that question specifically, a factory is a wet mill. So a factory is basically the immediate cooperative entity where member farmers are delivering their coffee fruit. Each factory belongs to a larger cooperative society. So in the case of Kiandu, they belong to the Mutheka Coffee Farmers Society, which is along with 6 other factories like them. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So there are 6 factories in the area there.
7 total.
Okay.
Are Mutheka. Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole lot more, right? Because Kiandu is in the region of Nyeri, which is, arguably the most famous coffee growing region in all of Kenya, which is, a pretty big deal, of course. And there's dozens and dozens of cooperative societies in the area.
Right. And there's something like 1,000 farmers that contribute just to Kiandu?
Yeah, more than that. On any given lot, right, there could be as few as a dozen farmers, and there could be, hundreds. Unlikely thousands in a lot because it gets separated out by week or a couple weeks depending on the size. But the actual membership of Kiandu is 1,500 members, farmer members.
Okay, 1,500, yeah. And do you have any idea about this specific lot this year around how many farmers might have contributed?
Seems as it was in like the 50-60 bag range. I would guess somewhere closer to 100.
Okay, interesting. So It's a lot of coffee that's coming out of there.
There's a decent amount of coffee that comes out of there, probably a dozen containers of really like high-end coffee in any given year.
Oh yeah, so what's the average farmer's plot look like over there? Like how much land are they usually farming on?
You get a range in that part of Kenya. So you could have what would be considered garden-style farmers, similar to what you see in most of Ethiopia, where they could have half a hectare, and they could have as few as 50 trees or 100 trees, which is like pretty much nothing. And you get farmers that are a little bit bigger than that, a few hectares, and you very rarely see something that's bigger than 10 or 12 hectares, and that's pretty rare in itself too. So a lot of garden style, and then just like classic smallholder farming on a few hectares.
Do you know if they farm anything else, like the average farmer? Do they grow crops for themselves, or do they sell other crops?
They do sell other things. Out there, they're growing things like maize, beans, sweet potatoes, collard greens. Some of it's for taking to market, and some of it's just, for feeding themselves their own sustenance.
Right. I've seen a few pictures, and it looks kind of hilly. I have a hard time kind of picturing what it would be like to actually stand on the land there, but it's like doesn't seem like extremely steep. It seems kind of like rolling hills a little bit. From your experience, what are some of the features of the land there?
Yeah, you kind of have it there in a nutshell. It's a really, really beautiful part of Eastern Africa. So Nyeri itself, and therefore Kiandu, are right in the middle of the Aberdare mountain range. So you're getting altitude maybe as low as 1,500 meters, and then upwards of 2,000 meters where coffee's grown. Kiandu's kind of right in the sweet spot there around 1900 meters. And it's rolling hills coming down off of Mount Kenya, very green, still pretty well forested in certain areas. You see good shade cover, lots of banana, like plantain style shade cover out there. And really, yeah, like it's not flat, but as you say, it's not steep by any means. It's kind of classic for Eastern African coffee farming. Like one of the very significant, visible, tangible differences between coffee farming in East Africa and Latin America is that in East Africa, you get these kinds of rolling, plain, plateau kind of styles of farms versus, you go to parts of Colombia or Peru, just like jagged, steep, like almost seemingly 90-degree vertical inclines.
Yeah. In your experience, what would you say are some of like the basics of different regions in Kenya, and especially compared to this particular lot from Nyeri, like what makes it different from other lots you might find in different parts of Kenya?
Flavor-wise, or how so?
Flavors, yeah, sure, that's fine. I mean, I think that's probably most of what we would relate to.
Yeah, I mean, when I think about Kenya, I guess maybe giving like a bigger picture kind of answer to get started there. Like you think about Nyeri first and foremost as being like the premier coffee growing region, but there are a few others that are, effectively just as good, or very much arguably in the conversation. Kirinyaga being one of them, Kiambu being another, Muranga, Embu, and Meru have great coffee as well. And I think when I think about those coffees, I think about like the occasional lot that kind of has that electric acidity, which could, range anywhere across that tartaric, malic, citric kind of spectrum. And a lot of heavy sweetness in those coffees. They're very like big and full in the sense of being complete. They're sweet, they're heavy bodied. When you think about the best Nyeri coffees, and Kiandu this year is certainly one of those, I think about coffees that just have like that powerful fruit acidity. They're super fruit forward. Maybe on occasion, the Nyeri coffees have that kind of like black fruit, blackberry, black currant kind of character, maybe even kind of like plummy, yellow fleshed fruit character. That kind of boisterous pomegranate, like sharp but refreshing kind of tart acidity, I think makes Nyeri like just really its own unique place that is, arguably as good a coffee producing area as there is anywhere in the world.
This coffee is very bright and sweet, with floral aromas, notes of citrus and berries, and a heavy mouth-coating body. That's the Kenya Nyeri Kiandu. For more info about this coffee, visit driftaway.coffee/KIA and visit the links in the description below for our other profiles this month, including our 3 cold brew profiles. As summer winds down, don't miss your chance to order our easy-to-brew, no-mess cold brew. You can find full details at driftaway.coffee/cold brew. Thanks for checking out Coffee Stories. Be well, and we'll see you next month.